Hello, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to, of course, another CSGO News episode. I hope you guys all enjoy. Before we get into it, I have three things to address. First, I got sick this week. That's why my voice sounds almost manly. So if you guys are annoyed by a sick voice, I'll just come back in a few days. I promise I'll be better. Two, thanks to Idle Empire, guys. Second month in a row, I'm actually doing giveaways with them. A free giveaway to enter for all of you guys will be linked down below the entire month. And again, it's free to enter. That's with Idle Empire. And also, three, guys, very lastly, thanks to CS Money for sponsoring this. Thanks to Juliana over there, the manager who apparently loves you guys in the comment section. So thank you guys all for watching. But anyway, today's episode is absolutely packed. There is so much going on in CSGO right now that we need to talk about in terms of results and possible roster changes, and a lot happening on Twitter though in terms of Twitter beef, which we'll get into. But as always, I hope you guys all enjoy. Let's get into it. And I think the first thing we need to talk about is all about PashaBiceps. We know well by now, over the past 6 months, he has had many depressing or kind of sad tweets out there, maybe foreshadowing to the future of him possibly leaving the Virtus.pro roster. We got probably the biggest one of all of them, though, earlier last week, or late last week, actually. He still has no comment about this. He said he would tweet about it. Of course, he does say that it was his worst week yet. A statement's coming soon. He has yet to make that statement, but because of this, it was actually shortly after this as well, where Virtus.pro has gone on a stringent of course, confusing results. It was actually October 6th. They lost a best of 5 in the GG.bet shuffle. If you guys don't know, that was the last tournament for the very last spot at IEM Chicago, and Virtus.pro definitely had a chance to actually grab that last spot. I believe that qualifier is still going on, but Virtus.pro lost to the former Godsent roster, who is now Red Reserve, in a best of 5, which is, again, not totally surprising, but again, you look at the results of that ex-Godsent roster, still have not done much ever since leaving Godsent for Red Reserve, but still not too big of a surprise. Then you look at a result which was absolutely unbelievable. They actually lost a matchup to Existence Galaxy, and not just lost, but got absolutely demolished by them. And so people, of course, took to Reddit, took to forums about this to freak out, because no one's ever heard of Existence Galaxy. It's not Existence, the IGL that we know. It's Existence Galaxy, a team, a no-name team, who, of course, they did lose pretty brutally to. And then even more confusing, the bipolar, of course, Virtus.pro team we do know. They then go ahead and face G2 in 2 matches for ECS. Both matches, except for the second match was actually a very close loss. The first match, though, on Cash, they win 16 rounds in a row against G2. So it really does makes you wonder, right? Is Virtus.pro, we've seen so many sparks from this team, so many sparks of, genuine, they work well. And then, of course, most of the time, besides that initial spark, they're just, it's hard to comment on. It's really hard. We've never seen a Virtus.pro like this. And then it also makes you question as well, G2, are they going to make changes? Because we actually have many rumors out there, thanks to Nell, that they're not going to be making changes until, of course, those contracts do go up. And those contracts will not go up until the end of 2020 now, besides Kenny S's. So are they going to replace him? Is he going to want to leave? Because that team is one that has definitely been very surprising. And then very lastly as well, talking about Pasha's Twitter, he did actually almost confirm the Snax movement. If you guys have heard rumors about this, apparently Mouz Sports, of course, they first wanted to possibly replace Oscar because the communication with the team was not doing well. Oscar took to Twitter a while ago and said the communication was never the same once Snax did join that roster, but apparently now it's Snax, the target to be removed, and possibly have Sticko be adding back in to the Mouz Sports roster, of course, returning there for the first time in a bit over a year. And it was Pasha actually responding to this, taking to Twitter and actually talking about it, which almost confirms those rumors, right? You always wonder if it's rumors that just the leakers know out there, or rumors that the pro players have also heard about, and so it does seem very likely that Snax, after going to Mouz Sports for just a few months, will now be off that team. And again, I guess very lastly for these rumors out there, it really makes you wonder, where would he possibly fall to if Mouz Sports releases this guy? What team would actually want this guy? And I mean that in the nicest way possible, not to say still a solid, decent pro player out there, but when you imagine falling from Virtus.pro to Mouz Sports and having these teams almost remove you in some sort of sense, where would he go next? It just, you don't see many teams where he can actually fit into that criteria, right? There's not many teams, first of all, looking for players right now. A lot of teams are, solidified, and the teams who are changing are French teams. They're the team that you just left, Virtus.pro. They're not teams looking for a guy like Snax right now, so it makes you wonder, in this Polish pedestal, how far would he fall if Mouz Sports does release him? But that's it for rumors out there. But on top of that, and I guess you could say some sad news, maybe we'll go into happy news after that. If you guys remember, it was actually quite some time ago, Jeff Cliff, we talked about this story, the co-founder of the original Counter-Strike. There was rumors, and there was allegations out there that he had sexually exploited a minor, and those were confirmed to be true. Now, I guess, of course, that's terrible news, right? Terrible news not only for him, for the victim, as well as the game itself. It doesn't give us a good image, but I guess on the brighter side of things, he actually pleaded guilty to that plea, and he will be going away for quite some time. So that was actually a couple days ago, thanks to Wicked Player. He did plead guilty, which again, a disgusting situation obviously to be involved in, but I thought I'd share that with you guys. Just a kind of a kind of follow-up story. Again, we touched on that, I think, over a year ago, and that has now come to an end, and he will be going to jail for obviously disgusting things he did. And like I said, I have happier news though. That is, of course, Space Soldiers has now been finally released from the organization, which at one point in time, I think it was Don who leaked what they were being paid. It was less than $2,000 a month or around that. Again, that's just me estimated. I didn't really fact check, and I know it's not surprising to hear, but anyway, we all knew they were not being paid probably what they deserve to be paid, especially with the amount of majors they've been to, the amount of, I guess you could say, some tournaments they've showed some appearances at, but it was very well aware that other pro players out there were making, 10 times, 15 times what these guys were making per month. So it's been finally announced, guys, they will be parting ways with their organization. Announced by Space Soldiers, though, officially after, of course, the players did leak this kind of stuff or actually make their statements on Twitter as well. They still do have buyout clauses, I do believe. They are not officially out of the organization until they will be bought out or until those contracts do end. Now, we've heard about this is a long time coming, right? It was a long time ago. I think it was actually Engine, the management over there at Space Soldiers, apparently wanted to get rid of him. The other players kind of gathered around and said, no, you're not going to get rid of him. That's the player we want to play with. They all turned their Twitter header pictures, their Twitter profile pictures, just all black, and we thought something was going to be coming before the major. It's now shortly after the major, guys. Space Soldiers will continue on their Turkish organization with another CSGO team. It will not be the ones we do know, though, historically speaking, the best Turkish team. And as of right now, their sticker prices have actually been soaring up in price. I'm not going to be investing. I already bought a few after the major because they just have really cool stickers. I wouldn't say the best time to invest is right now anyway. If you're already hearing this, you're probably too late. But anyway, congrats to Space Soldiers. They are now finally free. And the Star Series drama continues. Now I'm going to break down the results because as I'm actually speaking right now, at the point of you guys watching, it's already over, but the final was confusing to say the least. ENCE and Vega Squadron. If I spoiled that, I apologize. I never thought I would see a tournament, Grand Finals, Premier Tournament, where ENCE and Vega Squadron would be our two grand finalists. So that's pretty insane to see. I guess that maybe describes where we're currently at in CSGO, but again, we'll talk about that in a second, because with these results, we saw a lot of drama. The first of which, we've already talked about, Snax possibly leaving Mouz Sports. That almost seems more confirmed when you look at their results at the group stages. They actually start out 2-0. They beat, though, when you look at their results, they start out 2-0. They eventually go 2-3. They lose out in groups, and the only two teams they actually beat were Sprout and CyberZen, arguably the two worst teams there. So again, kind of some results that do not look too good for Mouz Sports if they do want to continue with that current roster. Alongside that, teams like Gambit, they go 1-3. Not a huge win there themselves. Again, go out in groups. We also have a Dren tweeting out some very controversial things. Apparently he is done. So we actually have 3 players currently for the Gambit organization, not on the starting roster, but in general, we have a Dren, we have Mo, and we of course have Hobbit. Hobbit is guaranteed on that transfer list. He'll likely be leaving, and the future of this Gambit roster is now the biggest question mark, I think, of any current team right now. Yes, we have our broken Virtus Pros. Yes, we have our unconvincing G2s, but this roster seems very likely to change, and it won't be just it won't just be one change. It'll be probably a significant change here very shortly as we prepare, of course, for those minor qualifiers, and eventually getting closer to this major. These teams need to be slowly solidified, and so it will be one of those 3 players likely to leave, if not more than one of those, and again, some convincing results for them. Alongside that, we saw drama around Mouz Sports, that final matchup when they were 2-2. They went up against Big Clan. Big also started 0-2. They went 2-2. So it was Big versus Mouz Sports. The winner goes to playoffs. The loser goes home. It was actually a huge map. I believe on Train, a huge comeback by Mouz Sports was cut off very short in overtime. And it was crazy to see as well. I mean, you guys already saw the drama. I already had a video about this. Chris J and Oscar, all the Mouz Sports guys got involved with Smooya because there's just some drama stuff that really doesn't need to be retouched on. But on top of that, we also had other players out there like Lagia get involved with JW. It just seemed like every pro player took this moment to really have it out for Big Clan, which is, it's weird to see a team being targeted so much, but then it makes you think that they do something. Like, is there something that pro players know that we don't, where these guys just piss other people off at tournaments? I don't know, but it was good drama to see. It was actually nice to see something spiced up, something a little bit juicy for once. On top of that, though, we actually had Tizian, also from Big Clan, get involved with Thorin. At one point in time, he tweeted at Thorin something very borderline KNG. Now, it wasn't the whole prove it or I'll kill you thing, but it was ADHD plus autism directly at Thorin. So pretty much saying that, one step way too far. We also had Thorin, of course, quoting this. Thorin is one of the most mechanically sound people on Twitter for fighting these fights. He screenshots it, it makes the Reddit page. Eventually, it's not only Thorin who makes a donation to autism research, but on top of that, Tizian as well. They both donate at least $500. So that was it. All in all, guys, all this drama ends in donations going towards great research. But it was a lot of drama out there. But with Star Series so far, these results, it did spark this. And again, when you look at the field so far, this really, again, there were a lot of premier teams, a lot of top tier teams who did not make Star Series. So let's not get this twisted. If it was going to be a tournament where it ended up being Vegas Squadron Ents in the finals, it was going to be Star Series. But I'll break down the results probably next time I see you guys, because I wanted to get this video out there as of right now. But still, it's crazy to see this tournament was one of the most sway heavy tournaments we've seen so far in terms of one of your better teams not making it through, especially expected teams not making it through. Complexity also went 0-3. So I think of your 6 top teams, NRG made the semifinals. That was the highest that any of the top 6 teams made it. We had Gambit go out early. We had Big go out kind of early in playoffs. Just a really big shocking tournament so far, which really kind of shows you when you take away those top 5 teams that are pretty much not there, your top 4 or 5 teams, everyone else is so close. All right, that's going to do it for you guys. As always, hope you guys all enjoy this episode of CSGO News. Thank you all so much. A quick reminder as well, thanks to all of you guys who subscribe to my esports news channel. I think I have about 3 weeks left doing CSGO News on this channel. So just 3 weeks left, and I'll be doing CSGO News permanently on that channel, which will be linked down below for all of you. And then on here, I'll be doing, I don't know yet. I need your help, guys. So if you're watching right now, comment down below, what can I do on this channel when I move all of my CSGO News daily videos to the esports news channel? So hope you guys all enjoy, though. Thank you all for watching. As always, my name is Jake Like you. I'll be responding to comments today, so feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.